Hello viewers, how are you? Welcome to my channel Physics with Rams. So today we are going to solve numericals based on motion in a plane. My humble request to everyone is please watch my previous videos based on this motion in a plane. Why? Because without concepts we cannot solve this numericals. So let's see the first numerical. Observe that a body starts with a velocity of, so here the initial velocity is given as u bar equals to 2 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 11 k cap and meter per second, and moves with an acceleration of, here the acceleration is given as a bar equals to 10 I cap plus 10 j cap plus 10 k cap meter per second square. What is the velocity after 0.25 seconds? So here the time taken by the body in order to travel is 0.25 seconds. Now we have to find the final velocity. So we know that acceleration a bar equals to b bar minus u bar by t. Common formula we can remove this. Where we can also directly consider v bar equals to u bar plus a bar into t. Now we have to represent the final velocity, where initial velocity is 2 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 11 k cap plus acceleration is 10 I cap plus 10 j cap plus 10 k cap into time is 0.25. So now we had represented the time. Observe that 10 into 0.25 is nothing but 2.5. So based on that we can represent it as 2 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 11 k cap plus 2.5 I cap plus 2.5 j cap plus 2.5 k cap. So here we have a unit vector I, and also here we have unit vector I. So these two can be added. Based on that we can represent 2 plus 2.5 is 4.5 I cap. Here observe that 2.5 j cap is there, and here we have minus 3 j cap. So unit vector is same. So we can subtract this. 2.5 minus 3, nothing but minus 0.5 j cap plus, observe that here we have 11 k cap and here we have 2.5. 11 plus 2.5 is nothing but 13.5 k cap. So the velocity after this time is 4.5 I cap minus 0.5 j cap plus 13.5 k cap. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is the coordinates of a body moving in a plane at an instant of time t are x equals to alpha t square. So here the position along the x-axis is given as x equals to alpha t square and y is equals to beta t square. Now we have to represent the velocity of the body. Observe that position of the body y is equals to beta t square. Now we have to represent the velocity along the horizontal as well as the vertical. For this I am going to differentiate this equation with respect to time. V suffix x equals to dx by dt, which is equals to d by dt of alpha t square. Well, we know that d by dt of t square is nothing but 2t. So we get 2 alpha t. Whereas now we have to represent the velocity along the vertical axis, where we know that v suffix y is equals to dy by dt. So if we substitute this value, here we get d by dt of beta t square. So on differentiating this equation, here we get 2 beta t. Now observe these two equations. Now we have to find the resultant velocity based on these two velocities. Observe that velocity has been represented along the x-axis and along the y-axis. Then the resultant is represented by this slope. Then the resultant based on this case is given as v equals to under root of vx square plus vy square. Vx square plus vy square, where vx equals to 2 alpha t and v suffix y equals to 2 beta t. If I substitute these two values in this equation, then here we have 2 alpha t whole square plus 2 beta t whole square. So we can take 2t whole square as common. If I take 2t whole square as common, then we have 4t square into alpha square plus beta square. where we know that square root of 4t square is nothing but 2t. So the velocity is given as 2t into under root of alpha square plus beta square. So this represents a resultant. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is a particle is thrown over a triangle from one end of the horizontal base and grazing the vertex falls on the other end of the base. If alpha and beta be the base angles and theta be the angle of projection, then we have to prove that tan theta equals to tan alpha plus tan beta. So here observe that here we had considered a triangle with angles alpha and beta, whereas the particle is being projected by an angle of theta over the triangle. So here observe that as the particle passes over the triangle, it touches the vertex and falls on the other end. Now here the coordinates of these vertices are given as x comma y. So up to this extent the coordinates of this point A is given as x as well as y. Whereas observe that from here the coordinate is given as r minus x. So in order to solve this, here let us consider the equation of a trajectory, whereas it is given as y equals to x into tan theta into 1 minus x by r. 1 minus x by r. So here based on that we can represent that y by x equals to tan theta into, so if you do LCM here we have r minus x by r. So from this equation here we have tan theta is equals to y into r by x into r minus x. So this represents an angle. Now we have to represent the angles of the triangle, where we observe that tan alpha and beta angles are there. Then based on that here we represent that tan alpha is equals to opposite side, nothing but coordinate y, and adjacent side x. So tan alpha equals to y by x, and tan beta is equals to opposite side, coordinate is y, and by adjacent side nothing but r minus x. So we can represent it as y by r minus x. So now here we had represented this. Observe that now we have to split this in this form. So in order to split this, I am going to consider the partial fractions. Let us consider the partial fractions as 1 by x into r minus x is equals to a by x plus b by r minus x. Now as we do LCM, then we have a into r minus x plus bx by x into r minus x. So here x into r minus x gets cancelled, and here we have a r minus ax plus bx is equals to 1, where I am going to substitute 1. So here observe that b minus a is equals to 0. Based on that I can represent that b minus a is equals to 0. Then we can represent that b is equals to a, whereas ar is equals to 1. As I substitute ar equals to 1, then here we get a equals to 1 by r, where r is maximum range. Then here we get a b is equals to 1 by r. So based on that here if I substitute then I can represent it as 1 by x into r minus x equals to 1 by r x plus 1 by r into r minus x. So let's substitute this value in this equation. If I substitute here, I get a y tan theta is equals to y r into 1 by x into r minus x, whereas it can be represented as 1 by rx plus 1 by r into r minus x. So here we can take r as common, then here we get a y r by r into 1 by x plus 1 by r minus x. So here r and r gets cancelled. So if I bring this y towards inside, then we have y by x plus y by r minus x. Whereas observe that tan alpha equals to y by x and tan beta equals to y by r minus x. So if I substitute here, we get tan theta equals to tan alpha plus tan beta. tan alpha plus tan beta. Take a screenshot, we'll continue. The next problem is a particle is projected velocity of 10 meter per second. Here the particle is being projected with a velocity of 10 meter per second at an angle of 37 degrees. Here theta is equals to 37 degrees. So now to the horizontal. Find a location at which the particle is at a height of 1 meter from the point of projection. So here along the vertical the particle is at a height of 1 meter. So now we have to find the location along the horizontal. Let us consider 2 points x1 and x2. Now we have to find x1 and x2 at a height of 1 meter. So in order to find this, we consider the trajectory equation where we know that y is equals to x into tan theta minus g by 2 u square cos square theta into x square. This is the trajectory equation. So here as I simplify this equation, here we have g by 2 u square cos square theta into x square minus x tan theta plus y is equals to 0. Y equals to 0. Now here we have to substitute all these values in this equation. As I substitute here, we know that since the planet is Earth, the value of g remains constant, and here we consider g as 10 meter per second square. As I substitute here, we have 10 by 2 into velocity is 10 meter per second, nothing but 10 square into cos square 30, cos 37. It is nothing but 4 by 5. So I am going to represent it as 4 by 5 whole square into x square minus x into tan theta, tan 37. It is nothing but 3 by 4 plus y is equals to 1. Y equals to 1 plus 1 is equals to 0. So here as you observe that 110 gets cancelled and we can represent it as 1 by 2 into 10, nothing but 20 into 4 square is 16 by 25 into x square minus 3x by 4 plus 1 is equals to 0. So as this 25 goes to numerator, we can represent it as 25 by 20 into 16 into x square minus 3x by 4 plus 1 is equals to 0. So here we know that 5 5s are 25, 5 4s are 20. Then based on that we can represent it as 5 by 4 into 16x square minus 3x by 4 plus 1 is equals to 0. So as we do LCM, here we have 5x square. Here already here we have 4, so here we get a 16. 16 3s are 48 x plus 16 4s are 64 is equals to 0. So here we got a quadratic equation. Based on this quadratic equation, now we have to find the quadratic roots. Whereas we know that the quadratic roots can be derived by using the equation x equals to minus b plus r minus of under root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Here observe this, the value of b is 48 minus 48. So minus into minus plus 48 plus r minus of under root of 48 square minus 4 into the value of a is 5 into c is 64. So by 2 into 5. 2 into 5. So based on that we can represent 48 plus r minus of. Observe that here we can take 16 as common. Why? Because here we know that 16 square, 16 3s are 48. Whereas here we have 16 4s are 64. So I can take a 16 square as common from these two. As I take a 16 square as common, then we have 3 square is nothing but 9, nothing, and here we have 5. 9 minus 5 by 2 into 5, 10. So here we can represent it as 48 plus r minus of 16 square. Under root of 16 square is 16. 9 minus 5 is 4 by 10. So based on that, we can represent it as a 48 plus or minus of 16 into 2, 32 by 10. 32 by 10. So based on this, now we have to represent the positions of x1 and x2. So as you consider this, let us consider x1. x1 equals to 48 plus 32 by 10. 48 plus 32 is nothing but 80 by 10. So x1 equals to 8 meters. Whereas x2 is equals to 48 minus 32 by 10, which is nothing but x2 equals to 16 by 10, which is equals to 1.6 meters. So we can, in this way we can represent the position along the horizon. Take a screenshot. We will continue. The next problem is, an object is launched from a cliff of height 20 meter above the ground at an angle of 30 degrees. So here observe that the angle of projection is 30 degrees with respect to horizontal, and with an initial speed of 30 meter per second. How far does the object travel before landing the ground? So here now we have to represent the range. In order to find this range, first of all we have to find the time taken by the body in order to travel this trajectory. So we consider the equation minus h is equals to ut minus half gt square. Whereas this velocity represents along the vertical axis, so it is represented as u suffix y into t. Then we have minus h equals to u sin theta into t minus half gt square. So here the value of g is represented as 10 meter per second square, and we know that u sin theta is equals to, velocity is 30 into sin 30 is nothing but 1 by 2. So here we get a 15. U sin theta is equals to 15 meter per second. So if I substitute all these values, we can find the time, where observe that minus 20 is equals to u sin theta is 15t minus 1 by 2 into the value of g is 10 into t square. So if we cancel, we get 5, because 2 5s are 10. Based on that, so if I bring these two equations towards this side, then we have 5t square minus 15t minus 20 is equals to 0. Now we can take 5 as common. So based on that, we can represent it as t square minus 3t minus 4 is equals to 0. Observe this equation, it is in the form of a quadratic. So we can find the roots for this equation. Whereas the roots can be represented as a t square minus 4t plus t minus 4 is equals to 0. Then we can take a t as common in from this two. Then we have t into t minus 4 plus 1 into t minus 4 is equals to 0. Then t minus 4 into t plus 1 is equals to 0. We know that the time will never be in negative, so we consider this. From this equation we can write it as a t minus 4 is equals to 0. Then we get a t is equals to 4 seconds. So time of flight for this projection is 4 seconds. Now we have to find range, where we know that range r is equals to horizontal velocity u cos theta into time of flight, where we have to find u cos theta, where we know that u cos theta is equals to, velocity is 30 into cos 30, we know that root 3 by 2. So here if we cancel, we get a 15 root 3 meter per second. So along the horizontal velocity is 15 root 3 meter per second. So if I substitute here, we have 15 in root 3 into time of flight is 4 seconds. 15 4s are 60. Then we get a range as 60 root 3 meters. Take a screenshot. We will continue. The next problem is two particles are move in a uniform gravitational field. So here we consider two particles which are moving in a uniform gravitational field and with an acceleration g. So at the initial moment, the two particles located at the same position, and moved with velocities, whereas the velocity of this first particle is u1 equals to 9 meter per second, and velocity of the second particle is u2 equals to 4 meter per second, horizontally in opposite directions, whereas this particle is moving along this direction and this particle is moving along this direction. The time between the particles at the moment when their velocity vectors are naturally perpendicular. So now we have to represent the time at which their velocity vectors becomes perpendicular. So here commonly the time taken by the body in order to represent this perpendicular velocity vectors is under root of u1 u2 by g, where u1 equals to 9 meter per second and u2 equals to 4 meter per second, and we know that the gravity is represented as acceleration due to gravity is 10 meter per second square. If I substitute all these values, here we get time t is equals to under root of 9 into 4 by. So based on that, here we know that 9 4s are 36, root of 36 by 10, and we know that root 36 is nothing but 6 by 10, so we get 0.6 seconds. So after a time of 0.6 seconds, the two bodies have a velocity vectors which are mutually perpendicular to one another. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is an object is projected up the inclined plane at an angle shown in the figure with an initial velocity of 30 meter per second. The distance r up the inclined plane at which the object's land is. Now here observe that we have to represent the range along the inclined plane, whereas the angle of the inclined plane is 30 degrees and the body is being projected with an angle of 30 degrees on the inclined plane. So here we know that the total angle with respect to horizontal represents theta. So here from that we have theta is equals to 30 plus 30, which is nothing but 60, whereas alpha is the angle made by the inclined plane, whereas we can represent that alpha equals to 30. Now we have to represent the range, and we know that a range r equals to 2u square cos theta into sine of theta minus alpha by g cos square alpha, where we know that g is equals to 10 meter per second square, and here already all the values are there. Based on that we have to find the range, whereas observe that 2 into velocity is 30, based on that u square is nothing but 30 square into cos theta is nothing but 60, cos 60 into sine of 60 minus alpha is 30 by g is 10 into cos square alpha is 30. So by substituting all these values we can find the range. Observe that here we have r is equals to 2 into 900 and cos 60 is 1 by 2 into sin 30 is 1 by 2. So by 10 into cos square 30, we know that cos 30 is nothing but root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2 whole square is 3 by 4. So here observe that this 4 gets cancelled and here 1 10 gets cancelled. Then we have r equals to 2 into 90 by 3, and here we know that 3 3s are 9. So we have r equals 2 into 30 is 60 meters. So range of the body at which it has landed on the inclined plane is 60 meters. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is the time taken by the projectile to reach from O to A. To reach from O to A is t. Then the distance OA is equals to. So here we have to represent the distance, nothing but r. Whereas observe that this r is represented on the inclined plane, where the angle of the inclined plane is 45 degrees. We know that this range resolves into components as r cos 45 and r sin 45. So now based on that we have to represent the equation. Observe that here the range is to be calculated here, and when we know that the velocity will be constant along the horizontal path, And here observe that the velocity is resolved into components as u cos theta and u sin theta. So here total angle is 60 degrees. So as it resolves, here we can represent it as u cos theta 60 along the horizontal, and we know that cos 60 is 1 by 2, cos 60 is 1 by 2. So based on that we can represent it as u by 2. So now we know that the range along the horizontal axis is given as r cos 45 is equals to u cos 60 into t, time of flight. Here time of flight is t. Then we can represent it as cos 45 is 1 by root 2 is equals to cos 60 is 1 by 2, nothing but u by 2 into t. So here root 2 gets cancelled, then we have r is equals to ut by root 2. So this represents the range along the horizontal, or the distance traveled by the body from O to A. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is an object is projected up the inclined plane at an angle of 30 degrees. So here the body is being projected by an angle of 30 degrees with an initial velocity of 30 meter per second. Then find the time taken by the body to land on the inclined plane. So here we have to represent the time of flight. So we know that the time of flight is given as t is equals to 2u sin of theta minus alpha by g cos alpha. So here we require theta and alpha, where theta is nothing but angle made by the body with respect to horizontal. So here based on that we can represent it as theta equals to 30 plus 30, nothing but 60, whereas alpha is the angle made by the inclined plane with the horizontal. So here we have alpha equals to 30. So we know that g is equals to 10 meter per second square. So if I substitute all these values in this equation, we can find the time of flight, where we have 2 into u is 30 into sine of 60 minus 30 by 10 into cos 30. Cos 30. So here 110 gets cancelled. Then we have 2 into 3 into sine 30 is 1 by 2 by cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Here 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So we have 2 into 3 by root 3. So here 1 root 3 gets cancelled. Then we have 2 root 3 seconds. So time taken by the body in order to travel this trajectory is 2 root 3 seconds. Now we have to find the maximum height. Whereas the maximum height is given as h max is equals to u square sine square theta minus alpha by 2g into cos alpha. Here we can represent it as, we know that u square is nothing but 30 square into sine square of theta is 60 minus 30. 60 minus 30 by 2 into g is 10 into cos alpha is nothing but cos 30. So now based on that we can represent it as 30 square is 900 into sine square 30. So we know that sine 30 value is 1 by 2. So we have 1 by 2 whole square by 2 into 10 into cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So now here 2 and 2 gets cancelled and 1 0 gets cancelled. So we have 90 into 1 by 4 by root 3. So based on that we can represent it as 90 by 4 root 3. And here we know that 90 can be represented as 3 into 30 by 4, so root 3. So here we get root 3 as well as 4 times here we get 7.5. So based on that we can represent it as 7.5 root 3 meters. So it represents maximum height attained by the body on the inclined plane. Take a screenshot. I hope that you had enjoyed my video. Please give a like to this video and share this video to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.